today. So everyone, ladies and gentlemen, please come with us and welcome the next speaker from Philippines. Today he will be presenting about leadership styles of senior high school coordinators in Isabela City, Basilan, Philippines. Please welcome Professor Rodriguez. Thank you.
Peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon us all. I am Rachel L. Rodriguez, an associate professor and currently the director for research of our institution, the Basilan State College. As a director for research, my primordial function is to coordinate, consolidate, and operationalize the research programs, formulating plans, recommending policies, guide the planning, and establish national and international linkages. Our institution, the Basilan State College, is situated at Barangay Sumagdang, Isabela City, in the island province of Basilan, Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be presenting to you my study on leadership styles of senior high school coordinators in Isabela City, Basilan, Philippines. In our country, the Philippines, three major policy reforms marked the pivotal changes that the school organizations and their leaders must cope with and adapt to the successful delivery of the mission, vision, goals, and objectives of education. First is the K-12 Educational Reform Framework, which is the flagship program of the Department of Education. Second is the centralization, which is the basis for the school-based management, or SBM. And third is the implementation of the results-based performance management system, or RPMS. Now, with the implementation of the K-12 Educational Reform Framework, DepEd Isabela City Division Basilan opened its doors to grade 10 high school completers, catering diverse students from nearby municipalities by adding 2 years in the basic education dubbed as senior high schools. To manage and operate the senior high school program, each of these schools have designated a coordinator who will manage bureaucratic and school goals, supervise instruction in the school, assign teachers to classrooms, and create opportunities for teachers to improve. However, managing the new program during the transition period is a goal beyond what one would expect of a successful delivery, since the coordinators had been appointed or designated by the respective heads without an established guidelines for hiring and selection, because DepEd has not yet established policy guidelines in hiring those who will lead in the senior high school program. This raises some questions like, what formal preparation and experience do the coordinators need for their new responsibilities? What practices have they adopted to help them grow or develop their professional practice? It is in this context that this study was conceptualized. This study aims to provide knowledge of the senior high school coordinators' leadership style and working conditions with the implementation of the 3 new educational policy changes for effective senior high school. One of the problems faced by the Basilan Senior High School is the lack of a clear direction, since it is not independent of the junior high school. Specifically, the study sought to 1. Investigate the management styles practiced by the public senior high school coordinators in Isabela City, Basilan. Second, make suggestions for enhancing the management program of the senior high school coordinators in Isabela City, Basilan. The findings from this study have implications for policy and practice that would build the senior high school coordinators' capacity in solving the leader-agent problem within a newly decentralized education sector. Now, this study was actually anchored on the framework of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD 2009, who constructed 5 indices of management behaviors. The 5 behavioral indices covers a significant range of principles management actions. To further summarize their behaviors, 2 management styles, namely instructional leadership and administrative leadership, were defined. Thus, the conceptual framework of this study shows that leadership styles of the senior high school in Basilan is dependent upon the 3 major policy reforms, and that the suggestions for enhancing the management programs of the senior high school coordinators must be considered as vital. Moving on to research methodology, the study was conducted in Isabela City, Basilan. Specifically, the questionnaire was administered in the 3 senior high school providers of the Department of Education, Isabela City Division, of which 39 senior high school teachers were purposely selected out of 79 from the 3 senior high schools under the Department of Education in Isabela City. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development's OECD Teaching and Learning International Survey, or TALIS, was adopted for this study. All statistical results were analyzed with mean and standard deviation. Moving on to results and findings. Table 1 shows the ratings for the Index on Management for School Goals. Specifically, it can be gleaned from the table that Statement 1 and Statement 2 had the highest weighted mean of 3.56 with a standard deviation of 0.50 and 0.59 respectively, while Statement 3 had the lowest weighted mean of 3.38. This finding portrays that the coordinators possess an excellent levels of leadership skills. Next, Table 2 provides the ratings for the Instructional Management Index. The overall mean for this table was 2.95. This portrays a descriptive rating of quite often, implying that the coordinators were good at the Instructional Management Index. The highest weighted mean of 3.0 was recorded for Statement 3 with a standard deviation of 0.83, and the lowest weighted mean of 2.92 recorded was for Statement 2 with a standard deviation of 0.83. Irrespective of the differences in the mean, they did not differ in their descriptive ration rating. As indicated earlier, quite often signifies that the coordinators had good managerial or leadership skills as it pertains to Statement 3 and 2. Table 3 shows the results of the Supervision of Instruction Index. It reveals a consistent flow of the instructional activity supervised by the coordinators. Statement 3, which is monitor students' work, had the highest mean of 3.20, and Statement 5, meet individually with teachers to discuss students' progress, had the lowest mean of 3.02. The findings was consistent with the real scenario in school, as monitoring instruction in the classroom seemed to be rare as observed in the result of the study. It was noticed that direct supervision of the instruction in the school index scored a weighted mean of above 2.50 with a numerical rating of 3, which is described as quite often. Table 4 highlights the detailed results of the Accountable Management Index. The overall mean was 2.88, showing that all statements had high response. A mean of 2.88 portrays that the coordinators quite often employed Accountable Management Index and that they have a good leadership skills in connection with this index. The results suggest that the coordinators work to improve the teaching skills of their teachers. Table 5 shows the overall mean of 2.88 for Bureaucratic Management Index. The mean indicates a descriptive rating of quite often. This implies that the coordinators possess good bureaucratic management skills. Table 6 gives the result for the two leadership styles, namely instructional leadership style and administrative leadership style. Now, the average weighted mean for instructional leadership style is equivalent to 3.19, while that of administrative leadership style is 2.92. Although they have the same descriptive rating of quite often, this still implies that the senior high school coordinators of Isabela City, Basilan practiced instructional leadership style more than the administrative leadership style. So these are the following conclusions. 1. Senior high school coordinators were more engaged in instructional activities than administrative responsibilities. However, they did not neglect administrative responsibilities such as creating an orderly and task-oriented atmosphere in the school and ensuring the school accountable internally and to stakeholders outside the school. 2. Their overall leadership skill could be rated as good. The coordinators practice the two indices of the administrative leadership style quite often. They focus more on administrative tasks, enforcing rules and procedures and accountability, and ensure that the professional development activities of teachers and their work were per the teaching goals of the school. Now, this research paper was actually published in the Journal of Multidisciplinary in Social Sciences, Volume 16, May to August 22, Volume number 2, pages 39 to 48. Now, the findings from this study have implications for policy and practice that would build the senior high school coordinator's capacity in solving the leader-agent problem within a newly decentralized education sector. Now, for the coordinators to feel capable in managing the school goals and instruction, they need to invest an adequate amount of time in instructional leadership skills, focusing on collaboration, talking to teachers about their classroom environment or settings and students' behavior and or achievements, and being able to communicate the result, as this will become the basis in developing the school goals. They will need to allocate time in providing teachers with professional development and supervision. Now, the current model for school-based management applied in the Philippines requires school leaders to work with key stakeholders in developing the school mission and goals. The stakeholders are expected to hold school leaders accountable for producing the school improvement plan. School-based management policies aimed at supporting the school leader's role must be designed to guide them to prioritize instructional and administrative leadership. Now, research is one of the mandates of higher education institution here in our country. Thus, leaders in the basic education sector often view the faculty members in the higher education sectors as researchers. So it is of great privilege that I was able to fulfill the mandate as a researcher, and I have extended service to the basic education sector. Though it is not easy to approach the leaders, especially the superintendent and the principals of the different senior high school, especially in seeking the permission to conduct the study. But because of the hospitable nature of Filipinos, I was able to capture, and a positive nod was accorded to me, and thus I was able to deliver and successfully conducted the study. The findings in the study was also forwarded to the division office in our district in the basic education. So I really felt happy about it because I was able to disseminate the research findings. So before I will end the presentation, I would like to give you one of my recommendations. That is to make the coordinators more effective under the decentralized education system in the Philippines. The senior high school leaders need to be given formal training to enhance their instructional and administrative skills. This should be a yearly capacity building program with the involvement of major stakeholders for proper accountability. As I end this presentation, presentation, my heart is filled with gladness and gratefulness, for I was able to share with you these humble research findings of mine, which will somehow alleviate the situation in the basic education, especially in the centralized country like the Philippines. I am so inspired with the presence and motivation by the presence of the international audience. So that would be all. Mabuhay.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your wonderful presentation for this afternoon. Okay, now let me read a question for you for the Q&A section. Okay, let's go to the first question from Janti. Could you let us know more on how to implement RPMS in educational system? Thank you.
Good afternoon. Actually, it's already afternoon here in the Philippines. By the way, I am teaching at the higher education institution in tertiary level, and the RPMS, which is the results performance-based management system, is actually established and implemented in the basic education. Okay, so maybe I don't really have that much idea about how to conduct or how to implement the results based performance management system, but as if my idea is correct, it is actually a system of, like, there are survey indicators in which the faculty of the basic education has to accomplish, and that they have to align with their goals and objectives, so that the performance based management system, which is all evaluated every end of the year, which is also a basis for their performance bonus. So whatever each teacher in the basic education curriculum has to accomplish certain criteria to be submitted to the district office. That's as far as my idea is concerned.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
Thank
Next
you.
question is from Pisai. The question is, from what level of education is SBM introduced? How to encourage schools to implement SBM? What are the challenges of SBM implementation? Thank you.
Okay, now SBM is school-based management. This is implemented in the basic education sector, and in the Department of Education. Usually, it is implemented at the school level. At the school level. So the principal has the full authority to manage everything, whatever that is also aligned or based in their goals, mission, vision, because every school has its own goals and objective, has its own mission and vision. So all the activities that the school is doing should be aligned with this mission and vision goals. So it is actually at the school level. So
Okay.
again, yes, further, as I have said, I am teaching in the higher education. So my idea is just that not that much as to the basic education. But in fact, that is already true for the school-based management. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Now we have only 2 minutes left. So let me, okay, press the last question for you from
Yes.
Somnam. The question is, what is the difference between instructional and administrative leadership styles? How important are these styles? Thank you.
Okay, the difference between instructional leadership style and administrative leadership style is on the manner on which they are, where are they to manage. For example, under the instructional leadership style, they are to manage school goals, instructional activities such as assigning teachers to classrooms, checking all the instructional materials, as well as direct supervision of instruction in the school. While administrative leadership style, this has something to do with the accountability of the leader or the heads, as well as the bureaucratic processes in the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Okay, you want to add more?
Actually, this study of mine is timely because the way back before the implementation of the K-12 during 2013 and before 2014, the only country in the Asia, Philippines is the only remaining Asian nation implementing the 10-year cycle in basic education. Aside from Djibouti and Angola in Africa, for the world, there are only 3 countries. So because of this, we initiated the government in the Philippines has implemented the K-12, that is from kindergarten to grade 12. So that means that there is already a 13 years now.
Okay, thank you, Professor, for sharing and answering our participants' question. And I think it's time, and we'd like to say thank you for joining us for this afternoon. And sorry for everyone that we cannot answer to all your questions. I hope our professor could answer to your question